welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I'm just a girl who likes reading romance, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, any kind of genre of romance in general. And I also happen to have cerebral palsy, and it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel. I also hope watching my videos can make your day just a little bit brighter. November TBR. I'm going to go over my priority reads that I want to read in November. Wow, I can't believe we're in November TBR time already. Where did the time go? I feel like we just got into 2025. I blinked and now the year is almost over. First, Nora Roberts' read along book pick, then my new releases, then the holes that I have on my Libby app that I have to read. Friend Jess's Patreon, she's doing a Nora Roberts read along where we read a Nora Roberts book each month, and this month is Blue Smoke. I have no idea what this book is about. All I know is it's romantic suspense. Now let's move on to the new releases that I'm for sure going to read. I did a new releases video on Wednesday. I had 20 books on that list, but I only picked 10 for my TBR that I'm for sure going to be reading because I'm a mood reader and there's no way I can read all 20 new releases that I'm interested in. If you want to see the full list of new releases that I'm interested in November, please go click that video linked in the description. On November 4th, we have the conclusion to the Empire of the Vampire trilogy by J. Kristoff. We have Empire of the Dawn. Now, I took a bit of a break from making videos, and during that break, I read Empire of the Vampire, and then I read Empire of the Damned. I borrowed the ebook from my library and I listened to the audiobooks on AnyPlay. Now, the only problem is the hold for the ebook of Empire of the Dawn is like a mile long. So I think I'm going to have to buy the book and listen to the audiobook because come hell or high water, I will be reading the conclusion to this trilogy. Also on November 4th, we have Fallen City by Adriana Young. Now, I have an arc of this book from NetGalley. I was just requesting it. Never assumed I would get it, but then I did. But I think I'm going to wait for the audiobook to read this book and then I'll write my review. I just know two people fall in love that shouldn't because he is a king and she's just a regular person, and their love causes the city to fall. On November 6th, we have Silver and Smoke, the third and final book in the Ashes of Besmar trilogy, and I just want to see Ren and Torge get their ATA. Also releasing on November 6th, we have Hit the Ground by Julia Wolf. It's the third book in her Kelly Ranch series, and I love the Kelly Ranch series. We're following, I can't remember the hero's name, but the cowboy, Kelly brother. He is a single dad. He has Elena's personality, Lachlan's looks, and if you read Sweet Like Poison, you see the little boy in their epilogue, because I think he's the oldest Kelly brother, and we get to see him in Sweet Like Poison in the epilogue, and we get to see him in another series by Julia Wolf, because the the Lachlan's sister get a romance, and in their book we get to see more of their two oldest children, and I just love seeing them as kids, so reading their books when they're all grown up is cool. But of course, in the epilogue, in those books, they only had two kids. Of course, they had more, but it's neat watching Lachlan and Elena be parents and watching their kids grow up through these books. I don't know, I find that very cool. I just love seeing Lachlan and Elena as grandparents. I just love them so much, and I love the hero's son, because when he makes an appearance in the previous two books, I just love the whole Kelly family in general. When We Breathe by Kristen Proby, it's a novella in the Blackwell's of Montana series. It's a menage romance. It's an MMF romance novella, and I'm so excited because we've gotten teases of this throuple in the previous two books in the series, and I think this is Kristen Proby's first MMF romance. On November 18th, we have Brimstone by Callie Hart, the second book in her fantasy romance series. I forget the name of the series. And my last new release that I'm for sure going to read is A Dawn of Chaos and Fury. It's the third and final book in the Legacy series trilogy by Melissa K. Warwick, and I'm just curious to see how it all ends, because I've grown to love these characters. I want to read in general The Weaver by Tiffany Roberts. The Weaver has been on my TBR for a long time, since it first released, because I love this spider alien romance series by Tiffany Roberts. I love their Spider-Man trilogy, and the Weaver is a spin-off. I just never got around to reading it, but book 2 in the series just released recently, and I didn't even know it was released. It's called The Delver, and I still haven't read The Weaver, so I really have to read these books, The Weaver and The Delver. Those books for sure I'm going to read, because I loved the original Spider-Man trilogy. I loved Catan, and I loved Ivy. I loved the audiobooks. So I really want to get to the spin-off series of Catan's Friends. Next, we have the holes that I have from my library that are ending soon that I have to read. You're Next by Tate James. It's the conclusion to her Dark Academia Why Choose Dark Romance series. And I just want to see how it all ends because the cliffhanger for book 2 and how it all ended was insane. Resistance of Witches. I have no idea what this book is about. I just saw a review for it on Instagram and I requested this book from my library, and the hold I have on the audiobook is almost done. Like, I have 5 days left to read this book, so I need to read this book. Those are all the books that I have on my November TBR. Please let me know what books do you have on your November TBR. I would love to know. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Liking this video would help me out a lot. And I'll see you Monday. Bye. Have a good weekend.